Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to talk about all down eighth note strumming, which is a particular strumming pattern, very, very effective, great for pop. It's kind of a precursor to what we call 16th note strumming, but don't freak out about the names, it's not important. At this point, you will have always been looking at doing a down strum on the beat, the 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and an up stroke on the and. Now this is great, and there's lots of different patterns that you can play. It's a very, very effective style of strumming. It's used most of the time. If you want to make things feel faster or have a little bit more energy, or you want to put more strums in, you need to double the amount of possible strums within a bar. So if we think about eighth note strumming, we had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that was the most strums we could get, was 8 strums in the bar. Now, if we change all of those up strums to down strums, so we strum down on the ands as well as the beat, the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, we end up with this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now, should be easy, right? You used to, down strums are what we started with. That was nice and easy. They're a little bit faster, but it's not really a big deal. The reason that we might want to do that is that it feels like it's got more energy, like there's something else going on. So if we do eighth notes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I change to all downs at the same tempo, it feels like it kind of picks it up somehow. It feels a bit faster. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... It's definitely got a different feeling when you do all down strums. Later on, we can start experimenting with adding upstrokes in there as well, because the same principles apply with our eighth note strumming as what this is now 16th note strumming. That's the proper big name for it. Don't freak out about it. But basically, we've got 16 possible movements in the bar now, because we've got 8 downs, and therefore we've magically got 8 ups as well. Don't worry about doing the upstrokes just yet. We're just concentrating on the downs and this feeling of moving things a little bit further forward. Okay, so it feels like it's got a bit more energy. Coldplay are a great example of that, even on the slow songs, because they're using all of the downstrokes. It feels like it's got kind of momentum in the song, and I think that's a pretty important part of this, a lot of those sort of styles. Now, there's another part to it, which if you do all down strums, 8 per bar, and you keep them the same, it tends to sound a little bit boring, frankly. It's missing something if you're just literally going... kind of sounds a little bit like a computer programming a strumming or something. It's missing the humanness. And the way around that is to introduce this idea of an accent, so playing some strums louder than other ones and changing how we play it a bit. So the common place to put an accent is what we call the backbeat, which is beat 2 and beat 4. It's where drummers play with their hand, the snare drum. Excuse my ridiculous attempt at beatboxing, but kind of a normal drum groove going like doof kak doof kak doof kak doof kak doof ka. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's the 2 and the 4 where we really feel that beat. So a great thing to start working on with your strumming is doing smaller strums on all of the strums except beat 2 and 4, where you do a little bit harder strum and you strum all the strings. So all of the other ones are slightly smaller. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So I'm mainly focusing on the thicker strings here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to just no accents, just focusing on the thicker strings. It's a bit boring, a bit computer-like, it's not really doing anything. As soon as we add 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, so magical. It really brings music to life. As soon as you add that accent in it, it's like it can start to feel really groovy, better. It'll feel nicer. That backbeat is kind of what makes you dance. It's a really important part of drums and rhythm, is having that kind of pulse that we feel. It's usually quite loud in the scheme of a mix of a song, is to hear that. So if you're, particularly if you're playing on your own, playing a song on guitar on your own, maybe with a singer, you want to try and accent that backbeat. It'll be a really important part moving forward in your journey. And the easiest way to learn to start doing that is with this all down strumming. You will eventually incorporate it into other strumming patterns as well. So all of those strumming patterns that we talked about before, you will learn to accent the 2 and the 4. Like I said, this is the best place to learn it. So literally grab a chord, any chord, doesn't matter. I'm going to use A minor. All down strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then try and keep doing the same thing and make it feel nice. Spend some time just practicing through that without a metronome. Just trying to get it feeling good, get used to what it feels like to play that way. Eventually you want to start doing it with a metronome. If you can make things feel great while you're playing with a metronome, you're definitely on the right path. You're doing something good. When you're playing just on your own, it can get a little bit wobbly. You speed up and slow down a little bit, which is sometimes nice. That humanness is sometimes nice. But being able to develop that nice, good, relaxed feeling whilst playing with a metronome is kind of challenging, but a really good thing to be practicing. The other challenge you're going to find with this when you're doing the all down strumming is where the picking starts. Now with an E chord, say, it's easy, or a G chord, because the root note's on the thicker string, you play all of the strings for those chords. It's easy. With an A chord, any type of A or A minor or a C, ideally you just want to be picking from the 5th string. Now later on you might end up using your thumb to sneak over the top to mute the thicker string for the A minor chord. For the C chord you mute the thicker string with the 3rd finger, so you can kind of get away with the picking being slightly less accurate than you want. Ideally you want it just from the 5th string, but if you accidentally hit the thicker string on a C chord, as long as you're muting the thicker string, yeah, it's going to be okay. The D chord feels a little harder because you're picking from the 4th string, which is, you know, mainly when you're doing this style, you're picking the thicker strings and then accenting through all of the rest. With the D chord, you're going to find it a little bit more awkward. So a nice thing to practice again would be doing E, A, D, A, and back to E. So starting to get used to develop the accuracy of the picking hand, to find the strings on its own. You can look at it. You'll probably find yourself looking at it, and that's okay. Nitsudge was definitely struggling with this, with the D chord particularly, trying to get the picking the right strings. But what I found is that the picking hand develops an eye on its own. It tends to just feel where the strings are, like the hand seems to know how to find them. Even though my hand's floating, I've got no reference point, it just tends to find the right string. That's just a practice thing. That's something that'll come naturally with you. Even if you don't think about it and you're not aware of it, it will happen for you just through practicing. So again, don't beat yourself up on it, but just be aware. A lot of these things are going to happen in the subconscious, but I feel like if you're aware of it, you can encourage the ideas to kind of form and to grow a little bit. So, and some of you might find yourself doing that and looking at it and beating yourself up because you're looking at it. Don't. It's fine. Look at it if that's what you need to do. Eventually it will start to happen where you don't have to look at either hand. You can just play with your eyes closed and both hands will kind of feel their way around. But looking at, especially at this stage, looking is completely fine. The task, the practice, is going to be, one, just being able to do it on any chord and getting used to the small strums and putting the accent on beat 2 and the 4. Once you can do it, trying to make it feel good. I'd suggest either an E chord or a G chord or something where you don't have to worry about muting and the accuracy of the picking hand to start off with. Once you feel like you're kind of getting it groovy and it's feeling nice and you're kind of cool with it all, then you want to start thinking about the accuracy of the picking hand and maybe trying to pick some chord progressions to play through where you're actually really focusing on where the picking is starting for this all down strumming. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you for more very soon. Bye bye.